How did joint stock corporation become the co-organizational form of the 21st century business? Until 1600, business mostly stemmed from personal ties in family firms, guilds, and networks. In a recent book, Going the Distance, I ask how this reality shifted to impersonal voluntary structures. Necessity leads to innovation. Around 1600, the English and Dutch joined oceanic Eurasian trade. But as they were far from the trade destinations and disadvantaged relative to the Portuguese, Arab, Indians, and Chinese, already conducting extensive sea-based trade voyages, they had to get creative fast. How were they to finance large-scale, long-term, high-risk shipping excursions? My answer, based on original historical research and a theoretical framework I developed, is that the two nations merged two existing concepts with a twist. They took the legal conception of the corporation, familiar from non-profit churches, municipalities, universities, and hospitals, and combined it with the financial scheme of joint stock and equity investments prevalent in partnership and joint ventures between individuals in maritime trade who would each invest money and split the profit. And thus, the first joint stock corporations were born. The English and Dutch public were invited to invest private money in the newly established English and Dutch East India companies to fund repeated journeys, ships, goods, and warehouses. In return for corporate stock, which would hopefully become profitable once the Asian goods were sold in Europe. Strangers were being offered the right to invest in a joint project and in return got voting on decisions, getting a share of profits as dividends, selling stock at will, and receiving updates. My argument is that these voluntary business corporations had many hundreds of private investors, no longer limited to family members or even acquaintances. This proposition was so attractive and successful, it led to European dominance of world trade and the ascent of the corporation as the foremost economic organizational structure in vast domains beyond trade, from finance to transportation and from industry to communication. How essential is the joint stock corporation for the future? Let's look at China, for example. I believe any discussion on China's realizing its potential as a global economic superpower must grapple with the implications of predominantly state-owned businesses and the ability to develop private and voluntary shareholder-based structures. I am no futurist, I'm a historian. The corporation sure has proven effective across numerous sectors for the past 420 years.